Welcome to another episode of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker on
Why are you
this
so
November
tentative?
1st. Wait, no, it's not November anymore. It's December. It's
It's December
December
1st.
1st. 1st. December
First,
1st, 2021. We have made it.
inconceivable.
We have made it to December of 2021 without any of us dying. That's fantastic. And we
There's still
will
30
we'll,
days left.
as a special announcement, everybody who's paying attention whenever this finally records, we're going to be participating in something called the Indie Pods United Summit on Friday, where we'll be doing a live show from 2 to 2:30 Pacific time. You have to go to the Indie Pods United website, which I can't remember what their URL is at the moment, but look it up. They're definitely on Facebook. You can find them there. You can get free tickets to see all of the live shows because they're going to be having podcasts over like 3 or 4 days, and as well as special sessions which have paid tickets to participate in those. So the Law Offices Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker will be on at 2 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific time with the Indie Pods United Summit.
And that'll be Friday, December 3rd.
December 3rd. That's right, 2 days. Friday, December 3rd. Thank you, Greg, for that. And what else? Oh, so today we have no guest, but we have a brand new client, of course, and the client is Gift Horses Eat Too Much.
Behold, trapped in a hellscape of their own invention, socially unaware old white men bound by the pretense of being fake lawyers yet knowing no law, no exquisite Latin terminology, they are inexplicably compelled to quibble over minutia, squabble over triflings, and bicker like those who value their backyards far too highly without even knowing the difference between an easement and an alleyway. At this very moment, you have entered the heart of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. Let's get started.
So, that being the case, Brendan, I believe, or Greg, no, Greg has found our sponsor for today. Greg, who is our sponsor for today?
I'm not quite sure, but this is what came in through the transom.
Glad you found something that has no certainty about it.
Okay, is there someone in your life who has wronged you or your pals and you want to even the score? Is some mook sticking his cannoli in your kid sister's gabagoo? Or is there just some stunad who's giving you a case of agita? Don't call a lawyer, call me, Sal Vagina, waste management specialist, restaurateur, and all-around good guy. In my 10-part seminar, I will give you the tools you need to better communicate your feelings to these goombatzes. These tools will be tailor-made to fit your specific situation and with whatever caliber you need. So remember, if someone's giving you a case of angina, call Sal Vagina.
Was that it?
That's it.
Sal Vagina.
I was
That's a good
wondering why
Italian
you're
name.
reading off of a Kaiser Permanente letter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it was. It's scrap
Written on
paper.
the back of my disqualification for healthcare.
When you want to hire Sal
Well,
Vagina, go to
this
Kaiser
actually my
Permanente because he's broken somebody's bones.
I got my results back from my sex test.
Your
Gonorrhea,
sex test.
gonorrhea negative. Trachomatis
Trichinosis?
negative.
Trichinosis. Yeah.
Hoof and mouth disease?
Trachomatis. Chlamydia negative,
Good.
but maybe you might get it.
Maybe you
You
might
man
get it.
slut. That's what the doctor wrote. That's so rude.
That is rude.
The doctor said you have a potential for getting chlamydia.
Yeah, 'cause she says I'm a man slut.
The doctor said, did you have like some
That's what
kind of
it says in the
relation?
thing. Look,
Did you
read
have
it,
some
right
relationship with your doctor that made the
No.
doctor say that?
there. She's
I
just
don't
very
know.
judgmental. A very judgmental doctor.
I like this doctor. I want to go to
I
her.
don't like her moralizing to me. I just want her medical care. I don't want her
Yeah.
to tell me how to live my life.
Now, just out of curiosity, since you're asexual, why would you need to get a test to see if you have any venereal diseases?
Because I got cured of my asexuality.
Really? How
Yeah, I
so?
called him Sal Vagina.
From the owl behind you? Did the owl finally take you
The
down
Sal-
and treat you well?
No, I called up Sal Vagina, and he taught me about cannolis and gabagoo, and he re-taught me. He unvirginized me.
So this means you like hired a prostitute or something?
No, I think he had sex with a sandwich.
No, yeah, cannoli, which is a dessert, and gabagoo, which I think is the bastardization of the word capicola.
Yes,
I believe
it is.
Yes, which is
a good sandwich.
An Italian meat product.
I still think he fucked the sandwich. That's what I'm going with.
That's not mayonnaise on there, people.
I wish I could say I'd never done that. I have fucked pizza dough.
You wish you could say you've never done it.
No, I never fucked a sandwich, but I did fuck pizza dough when I worked at a grocery store once.
Wow.
Pizza dough? What the hell?
It's really gushy and mushy, and I was 18 and a virgin. It felt really good.
Did you make it into like a big ball?
And well, it comes like that pizza dough that comes in the. Well, if you're in the East Coast, they sell
the
frozen
like pizza dough. So you use like some
it's not frozen. It's in the refrigerated section, like in the dairy. And it's nice and squishy. And I was just putting it up on the shelf one day because I worked at this grocery store, and I was like, "Man, I'm gonna take this in the bathroom." And I didn't put it back on the shelf, though.
Well, that's nice of you.
That's good. People always say, "Did you put it back on the shelf?"
That was very good of you not to put the abused pizza dough back, the sexually abused pizza dough back in the cupboard or wherever.
So it was flat. So you kind of rolled it up.
No, it was a ball. It comes as a ball that you take home and mash out and turn it.
Apparently, he didn't do that. He did.
Right. So did you pre-make the hole, or did you just force the hole into the ball?
Yeah, my penis made the hole for me.
Really?
It was a tool.
You must have been young.
He said he was 18.
It was a blue steel hard-on. I was fucking horny. I used to hump the stacks of milk crates in the freezer, in the refrigerator.
Wow.
The stacks of milk crates. Not just a milk crate, but the entire stack. It's like it just goes to show his girth, obviously.
No, I'm saying it's tall enough. Like if I just had a milk crate, it would be weird. I have to hold it up. But there was a stack of milk crates. I was reaching
all of this is pretty weird, Greg.
I know it is pretty weird.
I think you've just made yourself a new category in the DSM-5.
So the milk crates were all stacked on top. Were you just going into one of the little diamond-shaped holes?
No, I didn't I dry humped it. I didn't take my dick out, but I was reaching behind it to get some cheese or something, and I was my dick was all hard, and I was rubbing against it, and I didn't want to stop. And I just kept going.
Because you were thinking about cheese, and that's why this was appealing to you?
No, I was not thinking about cheese.
So the sequence was milk crates and then pizza dough. Like milk crates are like a feeder, like the gateway to pizza dough.
A fluffer, if you will. A fluffer.
So essentially the milk crates got you ready and then the pizza dough got you done.
Yeah, the pizza dough felt way better, I gotta say. Fucking humping milk crates is not doesn't feel that good.
It's like, where would you go from there? Forklift pallets, maybe?
Yeah, who knows? Barbed wire?
Yeah, it's a rough road that direction.
Yeah.
Crowbars? Where will Greg find his pleasure next? We don't know. Cheese graters?
Could this be our new segment? Where will Greg find his pleasure next?
Paper cuts?
Today I fucked a Hot Pocket.
Manila envelopes?
Oh, Hot Pocket I can kind of understand. I mean, that makes sense.
Before or after the microwave, though?
No.
That makes perfect sense.
You'd have to wait, because those are like liquid lava.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit about that,
lukewarm pockets.
Yeah, you'd have to sit for a while. Or one of those toaster strudels. Remember those?
Aren't they kind of thin though?
Yeah, but it's like a pocket. You can kind of stretch it out a little bit, and then it comes with that jizzy glaze that you put on it. Remember those things?
Yeah.
Those
where are we today?
The jizzy glaze.
Yeah.
That's really
which reminds me of our last week's sponsor.
Well, we did get a comment on YouTube that somebody really appreciated the line you used, "A delicious way to die." So I don't know if you remember saying that, but they appreciated that on YouTube.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that the YouTubers are out there looking.
Yeah,
for
it's not really YouTubers. It's Sanchez Eldorado. It's essentially he's the only one who comments on our YouTube videos.
Well, and I love him for that. So
thank you, Sanchez, once again.
He comments nearly every week on the YouTube videos, so we do appreciate him. All right. Well, why don't we?
Because he's got to like and comment, and to drive the Google algorithm.
Yeah, I'm supposed to also be pinning comments under the YouTube videos too to help the spiders find us as well. So that's what I've been told.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the next thing Greg will be having sex with is Google's algorithm spiders.
Oh, dude, I do
a big furry tarantula. That could feel good.
No, but it's a Google algorithm spider, Greg. So it's not quite that.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't, because you don't know what Wi-Fi
George
is.
Jetson.
I travel via tube and one-man spaceship to the places I need to go to.
Jane, get me off this crazy podcast.
All right. Well, our client for today is gift horses eat too much. Now, what does this mean? So, okay, everyone's heard the term "don't look a gift horse in the mouth," which if you're not familiar with that term, it means that if somebody gives you something, don't be critical of it. Just accept it in the nature in which in the way it is given. But I realize that there's lots of cliches involving horses out there. Not just looking a gift horse in the mouth, but there's like peeing like a racehorse. That's like a big one. And then
lead a horse to water.
Right, can't make him drink. Hold your horses. It's like
hold your horses.
It's like all of our cliches come from like cowboy culture or something. Doing a beat a dead horse. It's like, and you kind of wonder like where some of these come from. So somebody killed a horse and was beating it because it wouldn't do what they wanted or something. It's like, where did that one come from?
A real
cowboy.
What's that?
A really bad cowboy.
Yeah, a dark horse, like a candidate is a dark horse. Like, where's that come from? It's like, why is it dark horse get that particular definition?
Well, wasn't the white? Oh, I was going to say, wasn't the white horse pale horse? Wasn't that some sort of plague or?
Well, riding a pale horse is death in the Bible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Drugs.
Maybe it's because of the apocalypse. Going back to our previous client a couple weeks ago, the four horsemen of the apocalypse were the riding horses, and then the pale horse is death. Rode that one. So maybe the dark horse is, I don't know. That would make the dark horse a good thing, though.
It would. That's as soon as it came out of my mouth, I went, that didn't make any sense.
That's what she said. So anyway,
dark horse.
Yes. So that's a dark horse.
Are we talking about
the cart before the horse. What was that, Greg?
Nothing.
What did you? You said something.
You said something about.
I thought we were talking about cannoli again.
Oh,
I heard some sexual innuendo.
So they said Cthulhu, which is much different than cannoli.
He's right back there.
Cthulhu cannoli.
Greg would also, if he had the opportunity, fornicate with Cthulhu, I'm sure.
Not with my Cthulhu.
Those giant tentacles, he would be like all for.
Brendan's gonna have to hide it if I ever.
Yeah, if you come over, you can't hump my Cthulhu. That's just not okay.
Oh, the squid hat.
I mean, tentacles. No, I have a Cthulhu back there. He sits on top of my fridge.
What's the saying about like ridden hard and something wet?
Put away wet. Rode hard and put away wet.
Rode hard and put away wet.
Yeah, I would think that would have to involve a horse.
Yeah, that's definitely implied.
I assume it's a horse.
Or a pot-bellied pig, if somebody is so inclined.
Because I think you're supposed to dry the horse when you're done, like brush him down, like if you're a good horse owner.
So they don't get pneumonia or something?
Yeah. My mom used to.
I think I said pneumonia, but I meant pneumonia.
Pneumonia's worse.
Pneumonia. That sounds like a nice girl name.
I'm going to name my daughter that. Out of your ears.
What comes out of your ears?
Tomatoes.
That's what pneumonia is.
Pneumonia, yeah.
That's a disease where tomatoes come out of your ears. Yeah. Didn't know.
I think it's a beautiful girl's name. Pneumonia Pedix. That's going to be my first daughter.
Timonia. I think Dagny goes to school with the Timonia.
I mean, well, Dagny's kind of a similar type of a name. Where'd you come up with that name, Greg? Brendan? Not Greg. Greg, you had nothing to do with it.
He had nothing to do with it. Atlas Shrugged.
Oh, really? So
Dagny is the main character.
Some Ayn Rand influence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Did you watch the movies?
The movies were kind of awful. I
did
did watch the first two, and then I couldn't make it.
Yeah. That's where Atlas took a dump instead of shrugging.
Yeah. I mean, the book was awful to get through as well, to be completely honest.
Atlas Sharted.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, what is that? They made movies recently of Fountainhead?
Within the last 15, 20 years. There's like 3 of them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because there's one in like the 50s. There was one in the 50s, right?
Yeah, that was the Fountainhead, and that was a good movie and was a much better book. The Atlas Shrugged movies was like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like they let the nerds try to make the book be like really make the book into the movie and didn't like make it a little bit better for a movie. And so it's just like the book, long and boring.
Do people have dialogue that lasts for 10 minutes, like one little speech? Soliloquy, just
no, the acting in it is real hammed up. There's a lot of like, no, yes, I said that's enough of that kind of shit. And you're like, oh my god, you guys.
Yeah.
This is...
So basically, it was acted by a number of like guests we've had on our show.
Yeah, it was like done by theater kids or something. They were trying to project into the camera. Anyway, yeah, I never got through it, but I did read the book, and I thought the name was cool, and it's a Norwegian name, and all the other kids have Irish names, so that was the...
I feel like
Greg's
new title for the book, though. I think Atlas Sharted should go somewhere, Greg.
I think I saw that movie, too, but that was in a different section of Blockbuster.
Behind the beaded curtain?
Yeah. Who is...
John
Holmes, anyway.
Section.
How do we always wind up like heading towards like sexual deviancy on this show? I just don't know.
Or scatology.
Right.
Because we're like teenage boys in the bodies of men. That's why.
Pretty much.
I know, but you usually lead us there, Greg. That's the thing. You're the one. You're the one leading us.
I'm the most teenage boy of us, even though I'm the most decrepit of all of us. Because I never got married, never had kids. I live like a 19-year-old still. My life hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But according to that test, you don't have trichinosis, so that's good.
Right.
It's not trichinosis. That's from pork.
Dysentery.
That's if I put pork up my ass, I might get trichinosis.
I think
pork dildo.
I think cattle get trichinosis. I don't know if
trachomatis.
Tracheotomy.
Trachomatic.
Root. It looks like tracho, and then
I think that's next week's sponsor.
Trachomatis.
Brought to you by gonorrhea, syphilis, and chlamydia. Your 3 friends.
The 3
but
sisters.
I seriously never realized how many things are based on horses. You're right. It's like because horses were like that built our civilization. I mean, horses let us dominate the world. You know,
horses have been
like the Mongolians.
Yeah, like when they swam across the ocean on the horses.
No, but when they got there, they took the horses on ships, and when they got to the New World, for example, the Europeans, that helped them kick the Native Americans' ass. They got the horses, and they got good at it, and did some serious damage to us. Horses are they're like the automobile, nature's car.
The automobile?
Yes, horses are like the automobile.
Nature's car.
I don't think horses would appreciate that.
You ever put a wheel on a horse, Greg?
Hey, by the way, that is a horse of a very different color.
Is it a dark horse?
It might be, or it might be that white one. I don't know.
The worst was the horse that was like they called it the Pinto because it would blow up. You just tapped it.
Just random horses blowing up across the plains. Ever wonder what happened to the Navajo? Well, now you know.
Tonto, what are you
They
riding?
ran too many pintos.
Somebody would just slap the horse in the butt, like, good horse.
There's the term horseplay. Now, I'm kind of curious where that comes from.
Horseplay.
I guess colts play around a lot, right? But I don't know that full-grown horses do a lot of playing, do they?
Yeah, frolicking. You don't think of them frolicking around and getting into shenanigans and hijinks.
Do you have another synonym you want to use there, Craig?
Buzzerize.
Shenanigans, hijinks.
He's just full of ethnic bullshit tonight.
Fufara.
We've gone from Italian
Falderall
to shenanigans. I mean, I think horses
today on thesaurus.com. What?
Right. Well, now horseplay is that a bad connotation? Like
it can be if there's too much horseplay in the doctor's
in the doctor's office. I hate when there's horseplay in the doctor's office.
There was once a time in my life when I thought of a word, and the word that I wanted to say would come out the way I wanted to say it. These days, the words I want to say come out as different words, like doctor.
Welcome to your 50s.
Welcome to the after effects of three mini strokes.
Yes.
It's like, well, what's happening today with Matt? We don't know.
So when there's horseplay in the doctor's office, it's bad. But
right, and then you get letters from the doctor saying you've got trichinosis.
Yeah, because you stuffed a ham up your ass.
Because you're busy having sex with pizza dough.
Yeah, you should have been doing the ham. That's how you get trichinosis.
Or at least some ground beef.
I just wanted to fuck some pizza dough, for Christ's sake.
You can take a ham. You can take a ham and just right in the middle, just cut out a little hole. You know what I'm saying?
That could be nice.
Could be.
That's like anal.
Kind of.
And there we go. All right. So if wishes were horses, all beggars would ride. I've never heard that one before. That was on my list.
Not familiar with that
one. I've heard that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. I've heard that, but it had nothing to do with horses.
I haven't heard that one either.
A nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. Now, I've heard that as blind man because of Monty Python, but I didn't know that it necessarily came from a blind horse.
Why would they interject a horse in that saying in the first place?
Well, it says a nod is as good as a wink. So what's the significance of a nod? What's the significance of a wink to anyone, for that matter?
Agreement?
Well, let's even take the horse out of it. So let's say you're nodding to somebody. You're winking to somebody.
Uh-huh.
All right. So what effect is it you're trying to create from nodding or winking at somebody, Greg? You're seducing the pizza dough is what you're doing.
I winked at the pizza dough first. It was consensual.
Yeah, I think a wink is kind of, there's, you're up to something. A nod is just more of an agreement. A wink is like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But the Monty Python skit, it's the guy who goes, say no more, say no more. Nod's as good as a wink to a blind man. Say no more, say no more. And then he gets into, suggesting that the person he's talking to has sex with people, and he was wondering what it was like eventually.
I never understood that sketch.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that sketch. There's a lot of Monty Python I didn't get. I got to be honest.
Yes, you're not English.
Well, that's kind of mean, but okay.
It's mean to say you're not English.
I didn't understand lots of English things.
If you're going to be nice to people, Greg, call them English.
I got Benny Hill just fine.
Oh yeah, but that was written for 4-year-olds. Well, horny 4-year-olds. But I mean, that was really dumb humor.
Right.
But Monty Python would use slang and talk about things that I guess I don't know what they're talking about because I don't follow English news or something.
Yeah.
They did make a joke about their prime minister that I would have no idea what they were joking about.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But, they're long since passed.
Yeah, you're not British. You're just
dead.
A lowly Irishman, Brendan. That's what I meant to say.
He's Irish American.
You wish you could be British.
British. Where are the British from?
From Britain.
No, you said the British.
It's great. British.
Great Bribbin.
I said British.
God, I feel like I could almost smell that cigarette for a second. That's weird.
It's coming through the screen.
Like I have smell-o-vision all of a sudden.
So I heard a variation on one of those. It was if wishes were cock rings, beggars would writhe. I don't know where I read that. I read that somewhere.
I think you read that from the back side of your eyelids is where you read that.
I think that was in Pizza Dough Fuckers Weekly. That's how that came from.
I had a subscription.
I didn't know there's a union for that.
Oh yeah, it's a niche trade publication. No one really knew existed.
I wasn't
but it was great when they began to organize.
Yeah,
we
I was
get
the
rights
Pizza Dough Fuckers Union Local 454, upstate New York chapter. We went on strike a lot. I don't know why, but we were always on strike.
Because the pizza dough was too cold.
Because you were never getting paid to do what you just enjoy doing on your own.
Exactly. They didn't pay us for some reason.
Right.
They were
conditions were horrible. You had no time off, no vacations.
Nothing.
Just exploiting your pizza fucking. So
no benefits.
Did you ever think about like adding like some pepperoni slices to
some sauce?
Oil things up a little bit.
I should have put some sauce on there.
Make it a little more spicy.
Yeah.
Would that be I mean, as an Italian American, would that be more of a marinara, or would you go with more of a white sauce? I mean, how would you?
Alfredo, probably.
Yeah, what would be the way to go with that? I mean, you don't want the ragu chunky, huh? Bolognese?
A bolognese.
Bolognese, okay.
Because that would always be like a ribbed condom. It would be like little chunks in there that would, for my pleasure, if you will. Ribbed for her pleasure, but the bolognese would be for mine.
Extra chunky garden ragu for his pleasure.
Yes. For his pleasure. That's what it says on every jar.
Yeah.
If you look at the fine print.
I'm going to go back to ragu. I switched to another brand. I think I'm going to have to get back to it.
All right. There's also the saying, put the cart before the horse, which obviously implies people put the cart after the horse.
Well, they should, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I use that one a lot, actually.
Yeah. Don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Don't want to put the cart before the horse, yeah.
Because
people do that all the time.
Pushing carts.
That's a good expression.
And oddly enough, when we go to grocery stores, we put the cart before us.
Well, you're not a horse now, are you?
That is correct.
Yeah. Horses don't have hands.
Although sometimes
I
have been known to do the like douchey, like drag the cart behind me thing.
Is that douchey?
It feels. I feel like a dick when I do it because I feel like I'm taking up
the cart.
Because I feel like I'm taking up too much space, or I'm like being non-standard, and people look at me, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry."
Just pretend like you're walking your shopping cart, like it's a pet.
I start talking to it. Come on, Cardi.
It'll be following you around before you know it.
But see, the truth is, it's more efficient if you think about it. For just to say, get the cart in front of you, right? You're pushing your cart, you get to the place. Now you had to park the cart and go. If you're just towing it, you just chuck the shit into it as you go.
You're just like wiping stuff off the shelves.
Yeah,
just like a whole shelf.
That's right. He doesn't buy anything in particular at the grocery store. He gets entire shelves into the grocery cart.
Rice and peanut butter. There we go.
I want every bag.
Cans of vegetables into the cart you go.
Count Chocula's on sale. I want that every fucking one.
I want every variety of yam there is.
That's right.
I will accept it, and everyone will eat it tonight. That's all we're having. All right, so I think this is a good time to move into. I believe we've talked about our client a bit, but we haven't got into the whole concept of.
You haven't talked about it at all.
Horses eating too much. Well, we talked about horse cliches.
Horses, yeah, horse.
Right, but gift horses eating too much. So since it's an eating thing, we may as well just go into the cooking segment for our show.
Let's do it.
Let me get
Waspy.
everything
I got to
prepared.
get my fork and pen and paper ready for the recipe.
All right, here we go. This is a good one, I think.
Food is for eating. Food is for eating. Food is for eating with Waspy Soda Pop.
Hey, everybody, this is Waspy Soda Pop, and I have the best New England lobster roll recipe that anybody can make. It's so easy. You can make it with your feet, your friend's feet, somebody's feet. Actually, that's not quite so sanitary, so maybe you avoid the whole feet thing. Anyway, so This is a New England rock lobster roll. It's awesome. What you got to do is get yourself 8 ounces of cooked lobster tail meat. That's like 2 tails. Yeah, it's easy to just get it from the grocery store already cooked. I mean, if you're going to make your own lobsters, you got to hear the screaming and all that. And you want to hear the screaming, so stay away from the live lobsters. Unless you want it fresh, and that's not a bad idea. I don't know. You do what you want. 1 tablespoon of minced chives, 2 teaspoons of minced shallots, 2 tablespoons of chopped celery, 2 tablespoons of pea gravel, 1 tablespoon of light mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of fat-free Greek yogurt, pinch of black pepper, and don't let it talk back to you. Just pinch it a little bit. It should be okay. Half a teaspoon of lemon zest. You want to also have 3/4 cup of shredded lettuce. 3 slices of tomato if you like it. You can do cherry tomatoes. You can do like the giant, what do they call those things? Like steak tomatoes or T-bone steak? I don't know. Anyway, and the 3 hot dog buns or whatever kind of bun you want to use. You can use a hoagie bun. You can use like a cheesesteak bun or a lobster roll bun. I guess it would be a lobster roll. Anyway, I'm confused today, everybody. Anyway, let's get back to the recipe. First, you want to get the lobster. You chop it. The small bite-sized pieces. You combine it with the chives, the shallots, the celery, the mayonnaise, the yogurt, the black pepper, the pea gravel, and lemon zest. Then you get the 3 hot dog buns. You put them separate. You don't want to stack them up because then you just have like 1 loaf of bread. So you want to have the 3 different hot dog buns separate. Top them with shredded letter. Don't put your mail on it, people. Listen to what I'm thinking, not what I'm saying. You top it with shredded lettuce, and then you get 1/3 of the lobster salad for each of the hot dog buns. Why? Because there's 3 of them. And then don't forget, get a big bite in there for that real rock lobster experience. That's why the pea gravel's in there. Make sure you see your dentist afterwards. This is Food is for Eating. I'm Waspy Soda Pop. You're not.
What the fuck is pea gravel?
What happened? Matt? Can't hear you, Matt.
Pea gravel is
Oh,
what
there
they
you
use
are.
in this part of the
Pea
country.
gravel, you say?
Pea gravel is used in this part of the country instead of rock salt when there's ice on the roads. So it's used to help have traction and what have you.
Oh, I growing up in the Northwest never heard that term. We have rock salt.
Well, at least in Oregon, then apparently rock salt's not allowed to be used on the roads here.
Maybe it's
they don't
one
want
of
salt
those...
in the water supply or something. I don't know.
I gotta say though, of all the recipes that Waspy Soda Pop has described to us, yes. I've never wanted to fuck one so much. This one sounded really good.
Was it the pea gravel that got you?
Yeah, that would be like having those beads, sex beads or whatever.
Well, that works differently, Greg. You know, in the beads. You know what I mean? The beads go in a different.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk to you after.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna have to do a whole episode of inanimate objects that Greg wants to have sex with.
I'll do that every week as a
cornerstone of
segment.
Buildings.
I know.
Ferris wheels.
Pillows are very popular.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a given.
That's a given.
Who hasn't fucked a pillow? Come on.
I mean, yeah.
Who hasn't, Greg? I'm sure there's many people who have not had sex with pillows.
I was about to say maybe nuns, but no, nuns are probably fucking pillows more than anyone.
Oh my God. You don't want it. If you're in a nunnery, stay away from the pillows, man. Stay away from the pillows. Bad scene.
All of you out there spending your time at convents, stay away from the pillows.
Yeah.
There's a convent Airbnb right down the street. My friends stay there a lot.
Where?
It's a literal convent?
It's a convent, but it's an Airbnb, so you can stay in the little cells or whatever they call them there.
So there's no nuns there now. It used to be.
No, half of it's nuns, half of it's just guests, and then
I'm staying there when I come. I'm coming up probably this coming year, maybe in the summertime.
And the thing is, the best thing about it is they're sexy nuns, where they wear those Benny Hill stockings.
You said that they're taxi nuns?
Habits.
You said they're taxi nuns. What are taxi nuns?
I said sexy.
Oh, sexy nuns. Well, your Wi-Fi went funky, so I
Get
only
with the
heard,
times. I mean, a
I heard
taxi nun
taxi.
is, they're driving around, kind of disassociated with society, having some existential crisis. Taxi nuns are the best.
They can take your confession while they drive you around.
But dude, if there's literally an Airbnb that is half a convent, half Airbnb, I have to stay there.
Do you want to get like your hand, like have them smack your hand with a ruler or something?
Yes,
while you're sleeping there?
Absolutely. I want to show up for a coffee in the morning and like, where's the coffee? She's like, heathen. Yes.
That's right. Yes. You're both like former Catholics, so I think this all makes sense to me now.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
have a thing about nuns.
Nun thing.
What's that?
He froze.
This is how cool I was dating a girl, and for Christmas, she bought me this coffee table book that was called like the Sexy Nun Encyclopedia, with every reference to a film with the sexy nun, a comic book, a novel, pornography, the whole idea of the image of the sexy nun in our culture since 1600. It was very academic.
Really?
But also very usable.
Yeah.
If you will.
Usable?
You could use it in your work.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe it.
So it was the book called Agnes of Goop?
Agnes of Goop.
Agnes of Goop.
That was a very famous nun in the 1500s.
They made a movie about her.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah, I saw Agnes of Goop behind the beaded curtain at the video store.
I missed that one.
All right, gift horses eat too much, and then they talk about nuns. But so I think what that can mean is like, so if you're given a gift that is not one that you want, and you keep getting similar gifts. Greg was talking to me about how his mother would always send him sweaters when he was in Arizona, and so he could never wear the things, and plus he kept getting sweaters.
And this is before her having dementia, and I'd constantly tell her like, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, but I can't wear sweaters in Tucson." And then next year, for Christmas, I get another couple sweaters, and it was a pain in the ass because I can't throw anything away. So my closet was full of all the shit I never even wore, but I couldn't. I guess I could have donated them, but I'm a dick. I'm thoughtless. So it's like, I have to hold on to these.
You can't get rid of shit, but you also don't want to give it away because that would be.
Yeah. That reminds me of like the one joke about sweaters that I know, and it's not necessarily a great one, but I must say it. So it's essentially there's this guy who's a college student, who's Jewish, and his mother sent him a brown sweater and a gray sweater, and so to make her happy when he went home, he wore the gray sweater, and she goes, "What? You didn't like the brown one?" So that's what that reminds me of, Greg.
Oh, this is a Jewish joke.
I get it, kind of.
Yes. I think it could fit,
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know any sweater jokes, so good as any.
I would have laughed harder if that joke wasn't so anti-Semitic.
But it's okay because
I don't think I mentioned the word Jew at any point during the course of that.
I thought you said he was Jewish.
No, I said he was a college student.
I thought at one point you said he's a...
Did I say Jew? I don't remember now.
I don't know.
I might have.
You did a Jewish act. You did a very Jewish voice. What? You don't want to?
You should say Jewey. It's Jewey. Say Jewey.
Is it rich and Jewy?
Yeah. But see, here's the thing, Greg. He can say these things because he's Jewish. As long as you're part of the culture,
of the tribe.
No, but I can't continue because I look Jewish. I'm
you don't look Jewish.
I look so Jewish.
You don't look
you
Jewish.
Don't look Jewish.
I can say I give out.
You look like a stevedore, is what you look like.
A Jewish stevedore.
A longshoreman is what you look like.
A
man who works the docks is what you look like, Greg.
Yeah,
but not on Saturday. Never on Saturday, man.
No, that's true.
You can do it Saturday night, just not Saturday during the day.
Yes. When the sun goes down, I go
before
to work
dusk.
like a motherfucker.
You cannot do it. Yeah, you have to walk
So
I go to work like a fucking draft horse.
Yeah, work like a
back
horse.
to horse.
Yes.
That's not a saying. That's not a saying.
So it could be. So what gifts have you guys gotten other than sweaters that it was a gift that you just didn't want or didn't need, or somebody kept giving you similar things besides sweaters? Anybody get anything like that? I've gotten odd gifts from my kids sometimes where it's like the thought was there of getting me something, but the thought wasn't there of what the hell is this you're giving me? Like, I was given a container of collar stays by one of my kids once when I wasn't wearing collared shirts that required them.
But even if you have a collared shirt, that's like something like Ward Cleaver would be. Does anybody?
I was like, oh, and it's hard as a parent. And so you go, how do I accept this without going, what the hell? I'm like, well, thank you very much. I appreciate this. It got me something, which is, something, because a lot of times kids get you nothing.
Did the other son buy you a shoehorn?
Usually I'm like an afterthought. I'll get like a handwritten card going, I will do one chore this month for you.
Oh, that's such bullshit, those ones.
Oh, I've gotten those. I know that trick. Well.
But I go, it's better than nothing. At least they thought about something,
Yeah, I can't honestly. I was trying to think when Greg was talking about sweaters. I can't think of anything like that for me. Like, I know, I not me, but I had a friend who had, I went to their house. This is a woman, and she had a bunch of pigs, like a whole arrangement of pigs on the shelf. Big pigs, little pigs.
So these like ceramic pigs, not actual pigs.
No, not real pigs.
Okay,
ceramic pigs. Some ceramic, some just paintings of pigs, a picture of a pig,
okay.
A needle point of a pig. And I was like, so you like pigs?
She's like, no.
No, that's exactly what she said. She said, no, I don't. And I'm like, well, then why do you have all this pig shit? She goes, because I think it was an aunt, would give her these, always give her something piggish. And then she felt bad, so she'd put the pig things that her aunt gave her on. And then people would come over and go, oh, this woman loves pigs. And so then everybody started giving her pigs. It's just, she had a whole house full of pigs, and she didn't like pigs at all.
She never got rid of them.
No, she couldn't. It's kind of like Greg and his sweaters.
That's somebody but overly polite.
So my sister Maria, who's probably going to listen to this at some point,
Someday.
But when I was 10 years old, I was in the Kiss Army. I loved Kiss, everything about Kiss. And then around 13, I wised up, especially after Dynasty when they went disco. I was like, I don't like Kiss anymore, and I got in a new wave and punk and shit.
Wait, the band members from Kiss were in the show Dynasty?
No, there's a Kiss album called Dynasty.
Oh,
and that's the one with the disco song.
I was like,
remember that?
There was Linda Evans and John, what's his name, in the TV show Dynasty, fighting
Linda
off
Evans.
Joan Collins.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Linda Evans and Joan Collins were put on the makeup.
Fighting off Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
So until I was 35, every Christmas stocking stuff would be like, oh, a Kiss beer cozy or a Kiss T-shirt or a Kiss poster, and it was nice that she bought me a present that she was like, oh, Greg loves this. But I finally had to tell her, after 10 years of getting all this crap, I was like, Matrice, I don't like Kiss. I haven't liked him since I was 13.
I understand how that can happen, honestly, because you have memories of certain things that are of significance with people you're related to, right? And so you remember that they liked this thing at this time, and you don't necessarily make it work into the future. You just go, oh, they like this, so you give them a thing that they liked when they were much younger, and they're like, well, I don't listen to this. I don't do this anymore. I don't have this interest anymore. But
sometimes there's a nostalgia factor, and it's a good thing. It's like, oh, remember we used to watch that cartoon, which you haven't seen for years? But I'll get a little mug and be like, oh yeah, that cartoon, Kimba the White Lion. Oh, it's nice nostalgia.
Yeah, no, it's tricky with my kids because it's like I'll think that they don't eat things that they used to hate, and now they're eating them, and I'm like, wait a second, you don't like that. But you have selective memory over the years where you're like, this is the thing I remember about this particular person, and now I'm all confused now. I don't know what's true anymore. I don't know what they have interest in anymore. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah,
Well, they change a lot at that
yeah,
age. They're always
all
changing
ages
their
really.
minds. And
I mean, think
yeah.
about it yourself. Like, have you had tastes change since you were younger? Things that you used to hate to eat, but now you like it or you don't
yeah,
mind it. You know, like what's been that for you, Greg?
blue cheese, gorgonzola, all those stinky cheeses, just weird stuff that I hated as a kid. Thought was disgusting. Now I like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
gorgonzola
like
is
Brussels
great.
sprouts now. Brussels sprouts was my kryptonite as a boy.
It's exactly what I was going to say. I love Brussels sprouts, but when I was a kid, if you like here, I'm like, get out of here. Cabbage is another thing. I was force fed it, hated it
Because you're
and
Irish.
then, I know that's what you eat,
Yeah.
and then I hated it, and then now I love it. And it's not even like a nostalgia thing. I'm like, oh, it's like cabbage. It's like I really enjoy it. But Brussels sprouts totally was the top of my list of things.
Well, my mom cooked them. She would boil them. They were just these slimy little disgusting things. And then, you know, the way you're supposed to cook Brussels sprouts, you put them on a baking pan, you bake them, a little salt and pepper on them. I finally had those in my 30s, and I was like, oh, these are great. But my mom really did make them bad. I mean, I don't think my taste changed. She made these disgusting little, they were like testicles or something.
Yeah.
They were just mushy little gross boiled.
Imagine boiled Brussels sprouts. That's horrible.
They're so gross. They would make me gag. They would.
I didn't eat Brussels sprouts as a kid, because my mother didn't like them, so she never made them. So I know I had no history with Brussels sprouts. And then as an adult, somebody goes, "Hey, you want to try some Brussels sprouts?" I tried them; they weren't bad. But then there was this weird aftertaste to them. I'm like, this isn't good actually. So I actually don't really like Brussels sprouts. So I never had a taste change on that. But I used to hate fried onions. Love fried onions now. I used to hate tomatoes. Wouldn't eat tomatoes. No, I don't mind them. I don't love them, but I can have them.
Asparagus.
Yeah, I didn't as a kid. Didn't like asparagus. Like asparagus now. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting how these tastes change. And if you give them to a gift horse, the gift horse will eat it all.
Right.
And that wraps up our show.
Has it been an hour?
Tied it all together. Well, we started a little bit late. I think we started about 10 minutes late, so we're not quite at an hour. We're at about 53 minutes, something like that.
Matt's just tired of talking to us and has more important things.
That's fine.
It was just that there was that very convenient way to just wrap things up. It's like we had.
It was a nice
tie. The horse, because the gift horses, they eat too much. Yeah. I don't know if they eat too much Brussels sprouts. But coming up in the weeks ahead, prior to the new year, which is about 3 weeks away. Yeah. We have a couple of guests and a couple of shows without guests, and we should probably do like a wrap-up show for the year because we did that last year. We could do that as an annual thing. So we pull out all the things that changed over the course of the last year with the law offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker, and maybe talk about that a little bit as one of our last episodes of the year. If you guys are...
Can we have a montage scene with Katrina and the waves playing behind it while we recap and remember the highlights?
Katrina was
walking on sunshine is a typical montage song in movies when people are getting stuff done. Yeah, it's like, oh wow,
when they're cleaning the house.
Exactly, for some new venture.
Yeah, but we can't really do montages because most of the time the only movement we have is our heads. And occasionally you getting up to go use the bathroom.
Look, I can do
Let's just do a montage of Greg getting up and running around the house and going to the bathroom. I think that'd be fun.
Well, I mean, our opening sequence is literally a montage of the art for every episode. Whenever we.
That's true. That's fun.
So that's going to change in the new year. Is we're going to have a new opening sequence. It'll be the same voiceover. It'll still be. Colin Metzger, the man with a very deep voice, but it'll have different visuals.
So do we have a guest next week?
We do. Next week we have Mel Ortiz, who has the podcast Misheard Lyrics. So her podcast is about songs that people get the lyrics wrong on all the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think my favorite is the Pearl Jam. What's that? Something Ledbetter or
Yellow Ledbetter.
Yellow Ledbetter. That's my favorite. There's a video on YouTube that's very good that that once you watch the video and hear and see the lyrics that they're saying, you can't not hear it. It's the only way I can hear that song. Like that song plays, I only hear the misheard lyrics now.
Well, then this will be a good one for you for the next week and talk about that. But as a reminder, at least myself, probably Brendan, maybe Greg will be on the IndiePods United Summit special show on Friday. Again, that'll be live at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, on Friday, December 3rd. And go to IndiePods United
we have to wear suits?
Summit. Yes. You have to wear a baking suit, Greg. As soon as you figure out what that is, you have to wear it.
This sounds very prestigious.
It's not.
It's not. It's going to be a lot of people like us just yammering at each other. Supposedly, the friend of the guys from the Happy Hour News team, Screaming Chewy, is doing one of the episodes. So somebody wants to check that out.
Chewy.
Someday we'll connect with that guy, and then the clouds will open and the sky will be blue again. I don't know what that means. All right. Does anybody have anything final they want to say before we end off this particular episode?
I did want to say I'm very glad about Waspy Soda Pop being right in the middle of the show so I can pee every episode without obstructing things.
That's good. I hadn't really thought about Waspy being a pee break, but you make an excellent point, Greg.
Absolutely.
I don't have to say anything. I think Matt did that for that reason.
I think maybe we should add a sponsor graphic, and then I can send you the sponsor graphic if I do it, and then you can throw up the sponsor graphic, so we don't have to stare at me reading script on my computer.
Or Greg.
Like,
what do you mean by a graphic for the particular sponsor of the week?
Yeah.
Well, man, that's like extra work for you guys. That's up to you. I mean,
I will do it.
I can't do it.
No, I can do it. That's not a problem. It'd take me 10 minutes. They won't be fantastic, but it'll be something, like I'll make a little fake whatever.
Well, we're not known for our high-end production qualities here.
No, but
I'll just do this, Matt.
I really love.
This would be my graphic.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that, Greg. You should have all of yours like on a whiteboard.
Greg's reading from the back of his, healthcare bills and shit. But I think even just the added point of having Waspy there while we listen to it, I think adds something. So I think we could have a sponsor there.
I'm always staring at his ears whenever I am listening to the segment.
I'm focused on his nose for some reason.
You can see my ears? I thought the hat was covering my ears.
Not yours, Waspy Soda Pop's ears.
Oh, Waspy. Those are big ears.
Underneath that cowboy hat.
Those are big ears.
All right. Well, so we got lots of things planned. Things will be changing in the new year as well in terms of format and things that we're going to add, and who knows what those will be. It's just like our show is essentially extemporaneous, and there's nothing really well planned here. More than likely, the things coming up in the new year will not be planned well either. So don't get your hopes up, everybody, for something like professional. It's not going to happen. All right. Well, this has been the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker.
Bye.
Yeah.
Your consultation with the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker has ended. You may pay your retainer at www.qsblaw.org. Please exit to the right of the water cooler and grab a candy from the front desk. We hope to see you again soon, but you need to leave now. I said leave. Why don't they ever listen? Get out! Get out!